Hi guys, I wanted to do a video for you tonight because something amazing happened and a lot's been going on, but I had to share with you just what happened today. It's been a really rough weekend. I've had a lot of fevers and my stomach's been upset partially because of the issues with my stomach I've been having and partially because of stress. I actually have to pay another payment to my apartment complex because I was late with some payments tomorrow, Monday. And I don't have the full amount just because it's a lot, and I just paid the same amount um, like 2 weeks ago, I think, and it's a lot to come up with in 2 weeks. So if I don't pay it by tomorrow at 5 o'clock, um, they're gonna try to evict me or actually evict me because we already went to mediation and tried to work things out. And these were the payments that they came up with. And I didn't have a lawyer with me. I thought I would, but I ended up going in by myself, just with a friend for moral support. So it's really intimidating, but I know I always have God on my side and my guides and all my loved ones in heaven that I know are watching over me. And so I did the best I can, but the payment agreement that they made is still really tough to come up with. So I went today to the office to ask if I could pay the payment that's due tomorrow at 5 o'clock on August 17th when the next payment is due, and I'll find out about that in the morning. So it's a lot of stress, and today I was packing up my kitchen, just preparing just in case I have to leave, quickly, because since we went to mediation, all they have to do is submit the paperwork, and basically I'm out for not complying with the payments. So I packed up the kitchen, and I've been looking like crazy for a one-bedroom apartment that's wheelchair accessible, or even like a room temporarily that I could stay in and pay rent. But unfortunately, everything that I found, even if it said wheelchair accessible, it's not wheelchair accessible. So I haven't found one that I could easily get around in my wheelchair. And even though this apartment is expensive since I've been sick, it's really comfortable for my wheelchair and it's super duper safe, and I love my neighbors. Um, so basically, it's a good place for me. And if they give me until the 17th, I have some checks that I'm owed for some inspirational speaking and things like that that would hold me over for a little bit. And on Tuesday, I start going back to the hospital again, and hopefully this is my last treatment that I'll have to go through, and then I'll be good for a while. So we have to pray for that. But again, going through these health issues and then, having this other stress, it's a lot. So my friend came over today to help me pack up some. I don't have a lot of things here because I've really become kind of a minimalist and like keeping things simple. I actually am interested in having one of those tiny houses built, but it would have to be wheelchair accessible, and they've only done a few of those, and you still need like $20,000 to pay for it, so it's still, a chunk of money that at the moment I don't have. So, but it's definitely something I'm interested in, and it's a type of living that I've gotten really used to because this apartment it's just a studio, but it's perfect for me. And anyway, the point is I've gotten really into downsizing and simplifying things. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Anyway, my friend came over today and she said, I have to leave around 6:30, and I said, oh, okay, no problem. Where are you going? And she's like, I'm actually gonna go to the amphitheater to hear Idina Menzel. and the amphitheater is open, so if you sit in the park area, you can hear her even if you don't like have a ticket into the theater. So a lot of people just sit on the grass in the little park area, because it's like an outdoor shopping area, and a lot of people just go and sit and listen to her sing, even if they don't have a ticket, because it's all open. And every summer they have a great selection of, different people that they showcase. But when I heard that Idina Menzel was going to be there, I was like, what? What? Because she's like one of my favorite. For those of you that don't know, I was very much into theater in high school. Once I found out about the theater department, I pretty much was in every show, whether it was helping with costumes, doing lighting. I got some principal roles too. I usually got a solo in the spring musical. I love music. I've always loved music, and I've always been involved in the choir. Now, because of health issues that I've had, I've had surgery on my thyroid and things like that, which did some damage to my vocal cords, so I can't sing like I used to, but I still love music, and I even studied choreography in college, and I was one of the only people ever to study modern dance and dance notation, pretty much anything that had to do with modern dance and hip hop. I took it as my elective, and in the beginning I had to fight to even get in those classes, because I'd go in and the professor would be like, what, how are you going to be in a dance class? But then by the end, I showed my enthusiasm, and I learned dance notation. So I learned to verbally be able to tell the other dancers different steps and put routines together. And it helped the dancers become better dancers because they learned to really listen, and I couldn't get up out of my chair and show them what to do. So it brought about this whole new way of thinking about dancing, and it really connected us, and it made me love dancing and music even more. So Idina Menzel, if you don't know, you've been kind of under a rock. She played in Wicked. She played the witch. I can't remember her name in the show, but she played that. She's gotten many Tonys. She was in Rent. She played in Rent. That was one of the first major parts on Broadway that she played. She did the song Frozen for Disney. She is amazing, and many of you may know I love Barbra Streisand, and I started listening to Barbra Streisand when I was really young, grew up on Barbra Streisand, and my next favorite in that whole genre of like jazz and musicals and all of that would be Idina Menzel. So when my friend said Idina Menzel, I was like, oh my gosh, can I go with you? And she was like, of course you can. I didn't even think about it, because she was thinking, I'd probably be stressed, and she didn't know if I'd be in the mood. But I've gotten to a point in my life where I just trust that whatever happens, it's supposed to happen, which doesn't mean that I'm not proactive and plan, and I still get stressed. But I really believe that God and my loved ones watch out for me. And I knew that, I don't have much to pack here, like I said, because it's pretty minimalist. And I knew that if I just stayed home, I would be thinking about it and stressing, and that's not good for me. And music always helps me heal. And I was even known as the Gravity Girl in the hospital for a while, because I was always playing the song Defying Gravity from Wicked, because it kind of embodied the idea of like overcoming whatever's holding you down and defying gravity. So I became known as the Gravity Girl because I'd play that song over and over and over and over and over. So whenever they'd be asking me, like in the emergency room or whatever it is, what are you listening to? Defying Gravity by Idina Menzel, Defying Gravity by Idina Menzel, like over and over and over and over. And so that's just one of the reasons that I love her. And I've been following her on Twitter and stuff for a while, and she's one of those people that, she's gotten a lot of success because her voice is phenomenal, but she still seems really down to earth, and it seems like she walks a very spiritual path from her energy, and just from some things I've heard her say in interviews and that kind of thing, she's very much into energy and, the whole idea of letting things go from Frozen. So we decided to go, and my friend's sister actually got there a little bit before us. So my friend called her sister and she said, "Can you save a space for us?" And her friend's like, "Well, I'm still kind of walking forward to see how close we can get to the theater, and just sit outside of it on a bench or something." So we're like, okay, so we start going up front. So we're walking towards the theater, but we're not inside it at all. We're outside of it. And these two gentlemen who looked very kind of sketchy, to say the least, they're like, "Do you want a ticket for $20? It's an over $100 ticket, and it'll be around between the 12th and the 10th row." And he asked my friend, and she was like, no, because I don't want to leave my sister behind, and there's going to be 3 of us. So what do? I check with my guide, and my guide says, "Get the ticket, because you'll be able to get in, like all 3 of you." And at first I'm thinking, this is crazy, because she's really sought after, performer, and it's 1 ticket, and it's, he's offering it to us for $20. So he comes over to me and he's like, "You want the ticket?" And I just go, "Yes." And I said to him, "I'm in a wheelchair, as you can see, and I'm sick. So if this is not a real ticket, it's going to be really, really, really bad karma." Like, that just came out of my mouth. And he's like, no, it's a real ticket. It's a real ticket. I don't want any bad karma. I don't want any bad karma. And I'm like, okay. So then he's like, "Do you have the $20? And I realized I didn't have any cash on me. And so my friend's like runs back after him. Well, first she's like, "Are you going to leave, like, me and my sister?" I said, "No, we're all going to get in." And she's like, "What? How's that happening?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I know we're all going to get in." And then she basically ran after the guy, and all she had was $13. So she said to him, "I literally only have $13 in cash." And he said, "I'll take it." So she gave him the $13. We took the ticket. We caught up with her sister. And then her sister's like, "Are you going to sit by yourself? What are we going to do?" I was like, "No, we're all going to get in." So we go up to the gate, and the first guard, I guess you call them, or door person, was like, "Can we see inside your bags?" Because they have to check the bags, of course. And so we're showing the bags, and they're like, "Where's the tickets?" And I said, "Here's the ticket." And he's like, and the guy's like, "Oh, you only have one?" I said, "Yes, I can only afford one," which is true. I couldn't even afford 1 ticket, because the tickets were going from anywhere from $78, or the cheapest, all the way up to, I think, $200, or at least $180 for a front row. And at this point, because I need to save everything to pay my rent and and food and transportation to get places, I don't have extra money to be splurging on anything. So I basically said, this is the only ticket I could afford, and I really need them in there with me, because I'm not going to leave without them, and I need both of them in there with me, because if something happens, I need both of them. And that's true, because I'm not as strong as I used to be. So if, God forbid, something did happen and we had to leave quickly, it's really hard to push my regular wheelchair, because I can't take my power chair in my friend's car, because it's a regular car, and it's hard to push my wheelchair over grass and stuff. So she really needed the help of her sister. So that was true. And the lady's like, but you only have one ticket. And I'm like, yes, but it's all I could afford. And I really need to go in. I really need both of them to go in with me. I'm not going to go by myself or leave one behind. So she said, let me ask my supervisor. So she asked the supervisor and they let us in. So we get in and the ticket is like 12th row. And they didn't really have wheelchair seating, or the ticket that we had wasn't really wheelchair seating. So the guy that helped us find the seat said, let me move you guys over a little bit so you have more room for the wheelchair. So he moved us to 10th row. So we were sitting like 10th row, pretty much center, like in the center, but on the side. So there was more space for my wheelchair. And the concert had already started, but we only missed like one song. And so we're sitting like 10th row, and it's amazing. And I recorded some of the songs, just little bits here and there. I apologize, you'll hear me singing in the background because I can't help myself. And like I said, my voice doesn't sound as good as it used to, but you'll get an idea at least of what the concert was. For some reason, my phone was really blurry, so you can't really see her, but you can hear it, and her tone and everything is amazing, but that's why she is who she is. And so we're sitting there in 10th row, like being able to hear and see, and all three of us together, which is amazing. And this is all based on faith, because I didn't have a ticket. I didn't even know about it until like 5 o'clock today, and we needed to be there to look for seats no later than 7:30. So it was just trusting my intuition and just taking a chance. So we're sitting there, we're enjoying it, and the guy that helped us to our seat, he was really cute. So if he sees this video, you were such a cutie. Of course, he was too young for me, but adorable. And he's a DJ, and I'm going to be following him on Instagram because he was super sweet, and his name was Sean. And we got to talking, and he said that he does a lot of like fundraisers, DJing and stuff, and he was just a really, really nice guy. So I said to him, I can't really see because in my push wheelchair, I'm much lower, so it's harder to see. And so he said, let me see if I can get you up where it's a little more elevated and you'll be able to see. So basically, I said, okay. And he took us up closer. We were like 8th row, but we were on the side, but it was more elevated, so I could see her, which was incredible. And so I'm singing, we're having a great time, like trying to take pictures of her, but like I said, they were blurry. And then it got closer to 10 o'clock, and I knew she was going to be ending soon because those concerts outside, they usually last like 2 hours. So I said to my friend, let's just try to go up closer and see what happens, because my guide said, try to go up closer. So we go up closer, and just as we're going up closer, she starts singing the song from Frozen, Let It Go. And she started asking for little girls and little boys to come up front to sing it with her. And the guy, one of the guards there, like grabs my wheelchair and pushes me up front with all the kids. And obviously I'm not a kid, but in order to see her up close, and I love the song Letting Go, and it's definitely something that I need to do right now with everything going on, I was just like smiling from ear to ear, and I literally was in front row with the kids, watching her sing, watching her interact with the kids, and she was so personable and so funny. And, you know, it's Florida, so it's extremely muggy. It's really hard to sing in humidity. And it's outside, so, you know, it's hot. And she's under all those lights. But she was funny and personable. And she stepped down and took selfies with people in the audience, like earlier before I got up there. And so she sang Let It Go. And he, of course, the usher guy like ushered all the kids back to their parents and was telling them to move back, move back. But he said, no, 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 you stay here. So I got to stay in front of front row and basically like listen to her sing, this person that I love as an artist, listen to her sing in front of front row, like with perfect vision. And he let my two friends like come up with me, so we were all in front of the front row, and it was all because we trusted. And she sang The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow, and I have a clip of me singing along to it, and it's so meaningful to me because I was obsessed with Annie when I was little. In fact, in kindergarten, when it first came out, I was in kindergarten or going into kindergarten. I think it came out around Christmas time, and I was going into kindergarten, and all I did was sing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow because I was really scared about my I think it was actually my first grade teacher. I was really scared about going into first grade, so I just sang that song to comfort myself, and the teachers thought it was really funny. So that song has a lot of meaning for me, and I always like sang it as a child, and I also got to sing it with choir, and I got to go on a little bit of a tour and do a small company version of Annie. So it has deep, deep meaning, and I got teary because we're singing about the sun will come out tomorrow, and I just thought about trusting and how trusting got me there in the first place. And then, when my friends saw how happy I was and everything, they got this shirt for me, which it's her, of course, in this beautiful red dress, which I love it. I hope you guys can see it. And here's our ticket, our $13 ticket. As you can see, it's a $99 ticket, if you guys can see it. Let me see. Hopefully you can see it. And then they also got for me, this poster, and it's black and white with a little bit of color, so you can see in my other videos that I have these prints of Kat Von D, and they're in black and white, so this will go with that perfectly no matter where my home is, if I get to stay here or somewhere else, wherever God takes me. But this will go perfectly on the wall with Kat Von D because it's black and white. And I love that she's wearing a red lipstick because you guys know I'm a big fan of bold lipstick. So it's really meaningful for me, and I'm going to take that picture and the ticket and put it together. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get to meet her and I'll tell her that I'm the Gravity Girl, and maybe she'll sign it. Who knows? I didn't even know I was going to that concert tonight, so you never know what tomorrow will bring. The sun will come out tomorrow, and you just got to keep the faith. I will keep you updated as to what happens, and as I said, I'll put those clips in. Please excuse my singing, but I hope you can feel my joy, and I hope this video inspires you. And I did a simple makeup look because everything was in a hurry, but I used the unique products. I used a little bit of the silver and a little bit of the grayish color and the light kind of champagne color, and then I used the lip gloss called Lovesick that I shared with you in my video, I think yesterday, I believe. But if you want to see more about the unique products, just check out my last video. And I hope this inspires you, and don't be afraid to take risks. Of course, if money's tight, don't spend money that you don't have. But when an opportunity comes and you really feel in your stomach, or for me, it's with my guides, that it's something you should do, or you need a break from everything, because with being sick, and then on top of it, like the stuff in my apartment, it's just been a lot for me, and I'm a really, really happy, positive person. And that's why I have Talia's legacy shirt on and her hat, because she always inspired me to keep swimming. And so when I'm going through tough times, I'm just drawn to wear it because it helps me have strength as I'm going through everything. And I think she's watching out for me, as I've told you before, and I think she helped with today because everything just literally fell into place. And I got to see Idina Menzel, front row, singing some of my favorite songs, paying $13, and not just me, but two other people. Now, if that doesn't renew your faith in God and and let you know that you're supported, I don't know what does. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and until next time, love, light, and blessings. I love you guys. Remember, music heals. Do what inspires you, and just keep swimming because you never know what's around the corner. And like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. Love you guys. Bye.
Because I knew you. Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. For good. There's only day away.
When I'm stuck with a day
That's
gray
and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and
the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on. You gotta hang on to tomorrow. Come on, babe. Tomorrow, you're always a day away.